After settling one class action lawsuit last week for faulty engines and visiting court again this week for more recalls, Honda has said that it is no longer a volume brand. Now, of course, I'm not referring to the United States here. I'm referring to other markets like Australia, where Honda's sales have collapsed. I predict what has happened in Australia will also happen in most other markets worldwide. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Honda says it's no longer a volume brand. And well, if you asked Australians about this, they'd all say, yeah, that's pretty obvious, right? We all already knew that. Honda says it is not using its now upmarket status as a reason not to grow sales in, well, worldwide, but also in Australia, where it says the Honda CR-V has the potential to topple the Toyota RAV4 from its throne. The Honda CR-V is going to take down the Toyota RAV4. Now, I've got no idea why Honda would think this, but anyhow, the Japanese brand sales here in Australia in the first 7 months of 2025 had put Honda on target to sell around 15,000 vehicles this year in Australia. That would be its best result since it changed its strategy. However, the truth is only a few years ago, Honda was selling 40,000 cars a year. And a few years before that, in 2007, Honda was selling 60,000 car sales a year. So Honda was selling 60,000 cars in a market half the size. Yeah, I mean, 2007, when was that? 18 years ago, Honda was selling triple, in fact, not that, 4 times the number of cars in Australia that it's selling today, in a market today which is twice the size. So it's been a disaster for Honda. And honestly, let's be real, the same thing is going to happen to Honda worldwide over the next few years, and I think it's inevitable. I mean, Honda themselves, they're saying that they don't see the Chinese as a threat, which seems a bit crazy to me. Anyhow, under the new leadership of CEO Jay Joseph and Managing Director Rob Thorpe, both of whom took up their positions here in Honda in April 2025, Honda says it has no intention whatsoever to become a volume brand once again. So what does this mean? Does this mean in a market where Toyota loses its volume brand status or becomes a bit player, it'll just accept that wherever it happens? I mean, if this is the case, that means you get disrupted, you lose your market share, and you go, oh, well, I'm okay with that. That's fine. And that's probably what happens pretty not too far away before you actually say, well, actually, sorry, bank, we can't pay back our loans. We're going to have to declare bankruptcy. This is what Honda said. We've earned this niche of not just being a mainstream brand that's just selling volume on price, but because of the inherent qualities and innate qualities of our products. We've earned a spot where there are premium mainstream products. Honda is not trying to reposition itself as a volume brand. That is not our aspiration. But as far as the space we occupy, we don't behave like a volume brand because we don't need to. Because our value proposition is not just the product and not just the price, but it's how we take care of customers. Yeah, okay. But don't get me wrong, we have volume potential. We just don't want to be a volume brand, but we have the potential. Okay. So Honda here in Australia said aggressive sales growth for the brand is the goal, but while many auto brands, including new China's entrants, publicly state their sales forecasts and even their desired rank on the Australian sales charts, Honda won't do it. We're not putting a number on it, but we're quite ambitious with our growth plan. Now, I'm curious to know how Honda thinks that they can achieve this. They say, we think we've got a current product portfolio plus a range of models that we're able to bring to market that's going to give us the opportunity to extract more growth out of this brand, and particularly the growth I think it deserves. He goes on to say, it all comes down to our ability to execute on the quality of the product that we're going to have access to. That becomes the challenge in our current environment. So Honda's saying it could once again dominate the Australian car market, but it's choosing not to because it sees itself as a premium brand. But don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. So guys, what do you think? What do you think of what Honda is saying here? Now we know that Honda has recently said EVs are not the goal. Honda is actually investing into hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. And in particular, actually, it is saying that by 2030, less than 20% of its sales worldwide will be electric. Now, considering the fact that 30%, nearly 30% of all car sales this year have been electric worldwide, Honda, you'd have to say, is likely to lose more market share, particularly in places like Europe and China, which make up more than 50% of global car sales, and where EVs are growing in sales enormously this year. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think about Honda's strategy. I'm curious to know. Thanks for watching. Honda's new mini electric car is shockingly good. I'm surprised. This is actually a proper EV that I think a lot of people will buy, especially if it's priced well. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Honda. This is their new EV. They just revealed this today. And we know a few details about it. We know the size, the range it has. We know it has vehicle-to-load technology that's been approved from Honda, which is great. I mean, no one would have expected that. I think that's a huge surprise. The range is not awesome, but it's not too bad. First of all, it has 47 kilowatt. That's 63 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much, but I mean, this is not a particularly big car. It has 150 miles of range. That's 245 kilometers. So what else do we know about this vehicle? Well, for one, it was just revealed in Japan. And these cars in Japan are, well, they're the most popular type of car you can buy. These small kei cars, they call them. It's a boxy car, and I think that makes it kind of practical. You know, they have a pretty short bonnet. So it's sort of basically a box that I think looks not bad for a box, but you know, 3.4 meters long. That's how big it is. 3,400 millimeters long. That's 134 inches. And yeah, I mean, 50 kilowatt DC charging apparently, which is a bit disappointing, but I think the range isn't too bad. 152 miles of range, 245 kilometers. That's not too bad. Now, there isn't too bad. 152 miles of range, 245 kilometers. That's not too bad. Now, there is a van version of this. It's called the N van. And that's actually not a bad car as well, I'd say. But interior-wise, what do you guys think about the interior? I think it looks very, very, very budget, surprisingly budget, but kind of weirdly retro cool. I don't know why. Weirdly, guys, I just did a video today on a new electric car